You see these little areas where you kind of get this backwards curving S shape and you have these little notches inside. This is where you have that best chance for an isolated spin up tornado. And of course, that is where we do have the start of that tornado warning right now and this best chance for an isolated spin up tornado. But check this. This right here, just moving through Russellville, that's a chance for some damaging winds. You get up towards Lewisburg and to the north and east. This area right here is kind of where you have your greatest chance for some circulation embedded within that squall line. So right along that northern Logan County into southern Butler County line, this is your greatest chance to see rotation or a possible tornado right now that could be embedded within this thunderstorm. So here's a lot of the communities that could be impacted. You get to Davis Crossroads, that'll be in your area by 9:29, Sugar Grove by 9:34. Woodbury is on the edge of the polygon. You're looking at impacts from this system at 9:39. That could be in Greencastle by 9:42, and then off to Segal by 9:50. So the next, all right, if you are in Bowling Green, it is now time to seek shelter once again. The campus of Western Kentucky University. You get up 185 towards the Anna community, towards Richardsville. It's time to take shelter now, as we do have another tornado warning, and this time it includes a large portion of Warren County and the city of Bowling Green. And we're going to be watching this one very closely. This is the second, now third actually, tornado warning to move through the area today. Shane, if you don't mind zooming in on this once again for me so we can show everyone where that greatest heavy rainfall associated with this new tornado warning is. And that is going to be impacting the Bowling Green and Warren County communities. Here it is, moving out of Logan County. You kind of see that little S shape trying to move on in. And the lightning is actually showing up, which is signs of some intensification. So we want to keep a very close eye on this as it starts to work its way. And this is coming up 6880 towards Bowling Green right now. Along 6880 towards 242, you're starting to get in on the wind gusts that are coming into the picture, but it's most important that you make sure that you are taking shelter. 31W, if you live along 31W in Warren County, make sure that you are getting into your shelter. So a lot of these subdivisions out by South Warren High School, make sure that you are seeking your shelter out there. A lot of the subdivisions that include Red Maple Road, make sure that you are seeking shelter if you live out in that location. Yeah, we can hear the winds now starting to hit the back door of the studio. So there, folks, there are very gusty winds with this, and with the saturated ground, it is possible, even without a tornado, that we could see some trees coming down. We could see some power lines coming down. Power outages are certain to be, or something to be aware of as well. A lot of those low-lying areas that commonly flood here in Warren County, you want to make sure that you're mindful of. A big one is Fairview Plaza. It floods with the shower, and you talk about the rain that we've had all this time, the heavy rain coming down right now, and honestly, there goes the lightning once again. But with us being under a tornado warning and the heavy rain coming down, avoid Fairview Plaza right now. That's a common flood spot. We've heard from our counties to the south and west. There has been reports of damage, especially across portions of Christian County, along with Trigg County, all dealing with that damage. And there's the lightning once again. And the more lightning strikes we see, that's also an example of just how intense the storm is. It sounds like we could be getting an update, Shane. What's coming down on the updates from the system?
Okay, just to retransmit on the tornado warning still active for both Butler and Warren counties.
There went the power.
And
you live in Warren County, the best place to seek shelter is in the lowest level of your home. Make sure that you are away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible as we continue to track this on through town. If you live in a mobile home, the best thing to do is to not be in that mobile home. You want to make sure that you are in a sturdier shelter that has a ground-rooted foundation. Mobile homes, unfortunately, can be tossed like toys when it comes to just high wind in general. So you want to make sure that you are in the safest place. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning coming out until 10:30 now. That is for portions of southern Simpson County into a large portion of Allen County. The leading edge of this heavy rain is where we're going to see the greatest potential, folks, for the damaging wind and the gusty winds like what just came through our part of the area. The rotation with this still present, not as defined as it was, which is good news, but we still do see at least the possibility of some rotation across the western part of Warren County as this continues to come through. And you see this little S shape to the squall line. Shane, if you don't mind drawing that on me with the draw action there, we have these kind of S-curved squall lines that you see going up right there. These are some of those squall lines that actually have the greatest chance to have some embedded tornadoes with them, especially when you have these little curve areas. You have your damaging wind threat out ahead of that where it kind of bows out, where it bows in. That's oftentimes where you kind of see those spin-up tornadoes beginning to develop, and that's what we're going to continue to watch. In fact, that area in Warren County now starting to bow out just a little bit more, which would make this a little bit of good news in terms of the tornado threat, bad news in terms of the damaging wind threat. Because looking along I-65 south of the Natcher, well, now you essentially went from nothing to those very bright radar returns, and that's where you have one of the greatest potentials for some damaging wind.
First Alert Weather, sponsored by the Medical Center.
And we've got new severe thunderstorm warnings coming out now. That includes Barron, Cumberland, Metcalfe, and Monroe counties. That's going to go until 11 o'clock as we continue to watch the damaging wind threat, especially across the eastern tier of the viewing area now. Shane's going to man this and zoom on over to the eastern portion of the viewing area for us. This is now to the south and east of Bowling Green. And as we focus in on that, here's that damaging wind threat, especially across portions of Allen County now. And that's going to continue to race its way to the east. You've got a damaging wind potential moving through Barron County right now, and this is eventually going to work its way into Cumberland and Metcalfe counties as well as we continue to track this squall line of some heavy rain that's coming on through here. Lots of places are now losing the tornado threat. Damaging wind is known as the lesser of two evils, but nonetheless, you can still get some impactful weather from damaging wind, and we really want to be monitoring the potential for some strong storms to come on through as this races to the south and east. Here is the overall squall line. Behind that is known as stratiform rain. That means it's just light rain that's coming on down. The problem is the ground is very saturated, so we still could see some rising water in some time. But here's the overall setup. You have the cold front pushing to the south and east now. A ton, and I mean a ton of moisture has been out ahead of that. It has rained and rained and rained for days. So now you add some gusty winds to the mix, and it's very easy for a lot of those trees to come down with a 35, 40 to 50 mile an hour wind gust. It doesn't necessarily take severe winds to knock down trees and power lines when you've had the kind of rainfall that we've had over the past several days. The Ohio River is really running over its banks. We've got flood emergencies going on in Louisville. We've had mudslides in portions of Butler County today, and of course we have had the tornadoes here in our part of the state today. But we'll continue to watch the squall line move on to the east as we go through the morning. By the time folks are waking up, we'll have a lot of the cloud cover around, a little bit of dreariness. Temperatures will be a lot cooler in the 50s at that point. Eventually, we'll start to see some sunshine begin to take over, but the water will still need to rise as the runoff flows into those stream creeks and other waterways. And so that's why we do see the flash flood warnings and the flood warnings anywhere in the green all across portions of western Kentucky. And that is where they've also had lots of structural damage from these storms that came through. We don't know if that's straight line winds or a tornado, but the storms have certainly caused a lot of damage, and we have had a lot of water through here. Here's your water vapor imagery. You can see where the most saturated area is. That's from the Ohio River. That goes all the way to the tropical Pacific, and we have watched this atmospheric river of moisture pretty much flow in all the way from places like Hawaii over Texas and into the Ohio Valley and Great Lakes. But drier air across the Midwest and the plains starting to move into the picture. This is going to be good news for your Sunday, Monday, and at least the first half of your Tuesday. But going through today, we still have a lot of rain to get through. You add another inch of water on top of what's already fallen, folks. That's just not good. But that gets on out of here. We're waking up Sunday morning, temperatures in the 50s. Some cloud cover will be around. We'll try to get a little bit of sunshine into the picture for your Sunday afternoon, but it'll likely be mostly cloudy. You'll see highs in the 60s at that point. By the time we get you towards Monday, sunshine taking over, temperatures making it into the 50s. But in the days ahead, we're watching another heavy rainmaker that's going to get in here on Wednesday and into Thursday, and that could add another round of a lot of water in here, folks. And so we'll want to keep a close eye on that one. Watch what happens as we get you into Wednesday and Thursday. We watch these rain totals go back up, and that's not what we need given the situation that we have had. But I will continue to track the severe weather threat overnight as this continues to race through the area. Follow me on Twitter and Facebook, Chris Reece Weather and Chris Reece WBKO, and we will keep you guys up to date with the latest as this round of severe storms continues to move through South Central Kentucky.